It's like truth was carved in stone, every word a guarantee. I built my faith upon your tone. You drew a line of futures with a confident hand, but the ink began to fade before I could understand. Your silence grows louder each time I call your name. You said you'd never disappear, but you mastered the art of delay. Promises don't echo when they're never meant to stay. They fall like empty footsteps on a road you walked away. I trusted every sentence you swore you'd see this through. Broken promises don't echo, they just teach me about you. In poetry, made them sound like plans. I mistook your hesitation for something I could stand. You nodded at the damage like it wasn't in your sight, but disappointment lingers long after you're out of light. You called it bad timing, I call it a choice. You left before the moment, when keeping words needs a voice. Promises don't echo when they're built on borrowed air. They collapse without a warning, leaving nothing but repair. I carried all your futures while you traveled light and free. Broken promises don't echo, they just rewrite history. Promises don't echo in the space where trust once grew. They fade into the distance like excuses people use. I don't wait for answers, I don't need another sign. Broken promises don't echo, they end where truth begins. Voices rise from distant ground. They reach the air, they do not touch. Each carries warmth, each keeps its flame. Two songs at once in different rooms. They lean toward light, yet stand apart. Their words crossed paths, but miss the heart. What one calls home, the other leaves. What one believes, the other doubts. He watches how their nearness aches, how closeness still keeps careful space. Love is not one voice, not one sound. Two separate songs on shared ground. They do not merge, they do not fade. They stand as two and stay away. Each guards a world, the other can't. Each walks a line, the other bends. They learn to breathe in open air, not in the shadow of the same. He knows that love is not to bind, but leave a door for both their minds. Love is not one voice, not one sound. Two separate songs on shared ground. They do not merge, they do not fade. They stand as two and stay away. Love is not one voice, not one sound. Two separate songs on shared ground. They do not merge, they do not fade. They stand as two and stay away. Two quiet flames in open air, apart aligned and choosing there. streets I've walked before. Same old questions, same old doors. Every word I ever gave left a mark I couldn't erase. I threw my hopes into the air, didn't know who'd catch them there. Goes around, comes back again. Every loss, every win, every hand we choose to hold, every lie, every truth we told. We're living in circles, wide and slow. The seeds you chose to sow. I see my face in other eyes, different lives, the same disguise. Every kindness, every scar travels further than we are. I try to run, I try to hide, but the road bends back inside. What goes around comes back again, like the rain, like the wind. Every word we choose to say finds its way home in the end. We're living in circles, skin and soul. You feel the weight of what you throw. Be gentle with the hands you touch, be gentle with yourself as much. The world remembers how you move, every broken thing, every proof. He watches winter stain the streets in gray. Rain on glass, the days grow thin and slow. People move with lowered eyes and wait, breathing colder thoughts they never chose. Coats pulled tight around unspoken fears. Light retreats from faces in the crowd. Even hope seems quieter these years, as if the sky had taught them to bow. He notes how silence thickens in the cold, how rooms feel smaller when the sun is gone. Every step is careful, hearts grow old, waiting for a warmth they can lean on. Windows hold reflections, pale and still. Conversations fade to muted tones. The world turns inward against its will, learning how to live in undertones. It isn't choice, it's how the body learns to mirror what the weather gives. When the daylight turns away and burns out, something in the spirit dims. When the light returns, they open up. When the air is warm, they breathe again. He sees how quickly hearts lift up. When the sky remembers how to mend. They call it food, they call it fate, but he knows the truth beneath the skin. We rise with the sun, we sink with the rain. We are shaped by the seasons we're in. He watches summer soften every face. Shadows shorten, laughter finds a way. Even tired hearts begin to pace. tracing moving lines on glass that never holds a mark. We speak in hours, numbers, signs. They listen somewhere in the dark. Chairs are changing while we sit. The floor remembers different feet. We call it progress, call it sense. They feel the ground begin to slip. In the turning, in the blur, something learns our shape and tone. Not our answers, not our words, but how we stand when we're alone. Reps are folding faster now, before a path can settle in. Yesterday is out of breath. Tomorrow's already thin. In the turning, in the spin, every gesture leaves a trace. What we hurry past becomes the quiet center of their gaze. Are we anchors? Are we sails? Or just shadows passing through? The clock keeps changing what it tells. You watch to see what still is true. And the tearing, something stays. Not the ski, not what we cling. Just the weight of how we move. When the world won't slow its frame. The room applauds a careful show. No raised voice, no sudden crack. But in the mirror of your thoughts, you see the pieces they held back. Smiles like mirrors, thin as glass. Promises in measured tone. Every favor neatly tied to threads you thought were yours alone. You sense the cost beneath the glow, a quiet trade you never signed. Dressed in kindness, neat and bright, a silver tray beneath the light. They hand you comfort, warm and mild, and close the deal with perfect style. All dressed in kindness, neat and bright, a silver tray beneath the light. They hand you comfort, warm and mild, and close the deal with perfect style. A photograph against the wall, a borrowed face and borrowed light. I watch the evening slowly fall and let it blur into the night. The room is quiet, thin and gray, her outline steady on the screen. I tell myself she'll fade away, but she remains where I have been. A practiced smile, a careful turn, a voice that never speaks to me. Still something in me starts to burn at what I want but cannot see. I fill the silence with a name that no one here has ever heard. motion, calm and slow, feels closer than it ought to be. I let the fragile tension grow inside this quiet vacancy. Anything she seems to be expands beyond the simple truth. I build a fragile symmetry between my longing and her youth. Anything she lets me see becomes the air I'm breathing through. A distant curated reality that feels more solid than what's true. The daylight makes it easier to recognize the empty space. Her presence thinner, slightly clearer, less illusion in her face. But when the evening settles in, the outlines soften at the edge. And I return to where I've been, balanced on a narrow ledge. No promises were ever made, no secret signs were ever sent. It's only light and only shade in my own quiet discontent. I know the difference line by line between projection and design. Still I allow the two to twine and cross that boundary in my mind. Each subtle motion, calm and slow, feels closer than it ought to be. I let the fragile tension grow inside this quiet vacancy. Anything she seems to be expands beyond the simple truth. I build a fragile symmetry between my longing and her youth. Anything she lets me see becomes the air I'm breathing through. A distant curated reality feels more solid than what's true. Anything she seems to be outweighs the world in front of me. I choose the softer certainty of self-created clarity. Anything she lets me know is less than what I make it mean. Still I remain where shadows grow, half in the dark, half in between. straight through the windshield night, as if distance makes it right. I count exits we don't take, every turn a small mistake. If this road had a name, we forgot it long ago. If there was a reason why we decided not to know. We're moving but we're almost gone. Two signals fading into one. No destination, no design, just silence humming in the The engine talks, we don't reply. The road goes on, so do I. Walking lines we didn't choose, different shadows, different views, skin like stories never read, names we fear, words left unsaid. We build our walls from borrowed lies, call it truth, call it pride. But every mirror that we break cuts the future we forsake. We are different shapes of the same flame, burning slow but burning the same. If we deny what makes us real, we'll fade together, fail to heal. Different colors, different names, same collapse, the same remains. Some are loud, some barely speak. Some are strong, some look weak. Different rhythms in our blood, still we drown them in the flood. Fear is easy, hate is fast. Understanding takes more than that. If every line becomes a fight, there will be no left or right. We are different shapes of the same flame, burning slow but burning the same. If we deny what makes us real, we'll fade together, fail to heal. Different colors, different names, same collapse, the same remains. No chosen ones, no perfect kind, no extinction certainty. Different shapes, one fragile frame, one last spark, one dying flame. Standing by the river, cold water at her feet, counting all the moments she never got to keep. The sky is getting heavier, the light begins to fade. Every choice she didn't make is calling out her name. On moving like it's got no doubt at all, while she's frozen in the silence, waiting for the fall. She tells herself it's nothing, just another passing day. But the truth is in the echo of the words she cannot say. If she steps a little closer, will the noise inside her stop? If she lets the water take her, will she finally let it drop? It doesn't ask with the night around her skin. And the hardest part of leaving is knowing where to